200-year-old haunted plantation home. Sound scary? Sound fun? Don't miss your chance to be part of this once-a-year only event. Visit www.pendletonhistoricfoundation.org and purchase tickets to the wildly.
They're currently up 7-0. The game started off a little wonky, one could say. Some defensive adjustments as the Bulldogs kicked off and got a stop. First off, after allowing some penalties, 2 unsportsmanlike conducts put the Warriors in Pendleton territory, but they blocked the field goal attempt, so it was 0-0, and then Pendleton went down and was able to score after Burgess was picked off. The quarterback for West Oak was picked off by Q. Dean on the next drive, and now the Bulldogs, with the field position switch, are driving in the second quarter after getting the first down. David Pulley, Sam Gaudreau. Sam, tell us a little bit about that first touchdown.
Yeah, so like you were saying, on that first drive for Pendleton, just kind of not much going offensively, but then that second drive, as you mentioned, an incomplete pass on the first play, but then it was a rush gain of 9, a pass gain of 22, then several other big runs by Bray Spear, an 18-yard gain, a 9-yard gain, an 18-yard gain through the air by Sam Jennings, all set up a 9-yard rushing touchdown by Bray Spear. And that's pretty much all the action you've missed today.
Until just now, as Jackson Allman just fired one from the 30-yard line into the back left corner of the end zone, and that is a touchdown. Jackson Allman right on cue, the quarterback returning, starting his first game of the season since the second game against Keenan that Pendleton played. He just delivered a beautiful strike to put the Bulldogs up 13-0 in the back of the end zone. Sam, who was that caught that touchdown pass?
I believe that was Mellow Mattress with the catch.
Absolutely, it was. Great pitch and catch there on the deep ball from Allman to Mattress.
That's good for a 30-yard touchdown, and immediately, right after I said that's all the action you've missed, you already get another entire 7 points of action with the 7 points you missed, listeners. So glad you've joined us now, and
it's good to be back on air.
Get on the board on the first play we call live, so we'll take that.
No doubt about it. Brody Sprayberry in there on the extra point. It is good. Missed a couple last week, so really good for him to get some momentum back. And the Bulldogs up 2 scores with 7:32 left in the first half, up 14-0. Good start for the Bulldogs, Sam.
Absolutely. And since we didn't really get to go over any of this in pregame, West Oak comes into this game 4-4 on the season, so one of their best seasons in quite some time through 8 games. They are 0-2 in the region with losses against BHP and Crescent, but West Oak taking some strides, it seems, in the 5th year under head coach Glenn Padgett. They lost to the Bulldogs at West Oak High School last year, 57-7, and trail 14-0 here inside Cunningham Stadium as we continue on in the second quarter.
Kickoff comes returned by number 18, Jake Williams. Williams took a big hit earlier in the game on the first drive, was temporarily knocked out. Good to see him back in there. He returns the kick to the 26-yard line of his own territory, and the Warriors offense being shut out so far in this first half looks to get back out there. Quarterback Harry Burgess, coming from West Oak family royalty, the Burgess family so involved there. Of course, his mother, the women's basketball coach. It's great to see that storied family in the West Oak area, and Harry really represent that out today. Hasn't had the hottest start, though. Has yet to throw a passing touchdown this season. He has 0 touchdowns, and through his 7th interception of the day today, they're looking to get back out there and give the ball a lot to star running back number 6, James Coltrane, the 5'8" senior. They come out in pistol with 2 receivers to the right and 1 to the left, Burgess and Coltrane in the backfield. Starting off on the 25, Coltrane checks to his sideline. Bulldogs, 4 men down on the line. They'll hand it off to Coltrane, Burgess will. Coltrane will get to about the 30-yard line.
Coltrane has been an absolute workhorse for West Oak this season. Coming into the game, he had 117 carries for 571 yards. On the first drive of the game, he ran the ball 8 times on that drive that stalled out on downs.
Yeah, they only threw the ball 1 time on their opening drive that ended in the field goal blocked. That was attempted to kick by Vargas, their place kicker. Burgess now back to pass on second down, rolls to his right, pressured by Trent Garner, just throws it away over the middle Doesn't look that there was a receiver exactly in that area as he threw it back across his body towards the right hash, but they'll just rule it incomplete, and it'll bring up a third down at about 6 or 7 yards.
You could tell Burgess really trying to dirt that one. He's lucky he wasn't called for intentional grounding because there's nothing really going on around there in the area. Also great to see Trent Garner really back in the fold. We saw him return to action last week against Walhalla. Really nice to see him making an impact here early on homecoming night in front of the home fans. Really good crowd here tonight. Student section has made a nice showing, and the Bulldogs so far rewarding them with a 14-0 lead.
A lot of huge returns for the Bulldogs. Obviously, Jackson Allman, Trent Garner coming back into the starting lineups. Branson Wilson taking over at Mike, and Dax Allen taking over at Rover. Third down, Burgess drops back. The pass goes deep over the middle, incomplete, over the head by far of the intended receiver there, number 3, Cole Dobbs, the senior 6'1" wide receiver. So the Warriors will have to punt it away once again.
First 3 and out forced tonight by the Pendleton defense. They did force a turnover, as Dave was mentioning, on West Oak's second drive of the game.
So I believe that's Burgess staying in there as the punter. Almost blocked. Punt is received by Sam Jennings. Jennings will get it across the 50-yard line, but a flag thrown by the near sideline judge. Officials deliberating on what that flag could be. Obviously, flags on punt or kick return situation usually always on the receiving team. Homecoming night, as Sam mentioned, a great crowd here tonight, honoring a lot of the seniors, and of course, the Pendleton alumni here for this game. Clemson and SMU taking place tomorrow, so a lot of people in for that as well. And the flag will go against the Bulldogs, who will start the drive with the ball on their own 38-yard line.
Really good opportunity here for the Bulldog offense to get in rhythm. They did score on the previous drive with a few chunk plays, but love to see this run game get established here with 6:28 remaining in the first half.
They'll do exactly that on first down, but it won't go anywhere as Allman's handoff to Bray Spear was immediately snuffed out. And there was Luke Redmond, the star defensive lineman, number 9. 6'3", 200 pounds. Redmond immediately in there. Was at his left defensive tackle / defensive end, depending on where you want to slot him, on how the Warriors decide to line up their defense.
West Oak employing a 3-3-5, it appears, getting more pressure than I would have thought with 3 down linemen. Now they're going to walk a linebacker up for a 4-man set. 3 guys with their hands in the dirt. Linebackers standing up straight.
Sam Jennings in motion, but they'll fire over on the slant. Incomplete, intended for Mellow Mattress. That pass from Allman just a little high. Flag is down on the 40-yard line, though. Pendleton, number 77, Jaden Wilson, who was injured earlier this season, back in the lineup for a couple of games now, threw his hands up in frustration, as it seems to be a flag on the Pendleton offense, and that'll back them up even more. So, to all those listening at home, you missed quite a bit of penalties on the first drive of the game, and now those rearing their ugly head once again. 2nd down and 16 will it be for the Bulldogs. Clock ticking away, about 5.5 left to go in this first half. We thank you all so much for joining us. We thank all of our sponsors. You are listening to Pendleton Bulldogs football, sponsored by Longhorn Steakhouse on 105.1 WABB Spirit Radio. We'll thank all of our sponsors in just a moment. 2nd down, Allman fires deep on the sideline, incomplete, over the head of Sam Jennings. Jennings had a little bit of space there, really did a good job of finding that window, creating an open position in between the corner that he beat and the safety late getting over.
Yeah, like you said, found some green grass in between the corner and the safety, but unfortunately, Allman just not able to connect with him down the sideline. Just put a little too much on it. Looks back at the sideline and taps his chest like, my bad. He'll look to get things rectified here on this 3rd down and 15.
That's a tough throw for sure. Very tight window. He's got to get it in there with the safety coming over, but was unable to do that, so that'll be a 3rd down, but not before West Oak calls their first timeout of the half, and that'll give us a great chance to thank all of our wonderful sponsors. Of course, Longhorn Steakhouse, and then we have Rains on Exchange, Rogers Petroleum Incorporated. We have Guy's Pizza, Empire Homes, Pendleton Historic Foundation, Getting Chili Ice Cream Truck, West Cox Attorney at Law, Liberty Hall Bread and Breakfast, Black Tie of Cahaly's, Foothills Community Church, Crenshaws, Tiger Express Wash, Ken Rowland, Mac.Bid, and every other person who makes this possible. So we apologize for the technical difficulties. Once again, there's a problem with certain engineering and technical difficulties that were out of everybody's control, both us and at the studio. So we apologize for that, and we thank you so much for tuning in on this wonderful Friday night, October 17th. Beautiful weather, football weather. Feels like high school football as the Bulldogs will line up with Allman in the gun, 3 receivers to his left, 1 to his right, and Spear with him in the backfield. Allman rolls immediately out to the trip side, fires the out route, incomplete, intended for Sam Jennings. Tried to get some of it back there, but not all of it on that. We are back with you on 105.1 WABB Spirit Radio with Pendleton football. Apologies again for more technical difficulties. But we are back, and the Warriors do have the football. They have it 2nd down and 14 on their own 44-yard line. They hand it off to star running back number 6, James Coltrane. Coltrane will get a good bit moving on the right sideline. And the West Oak Warriors have now moved into Pendleton Bulldogs territory. A pivotal game for both West Oak and Pendleton, as Pendleton 4-3, West Oak 4-4. If West Oak wins, obviously they get a winning record. And Pendleton, if they win, they move to 5-3. This is a battle for 2nd place in the region if West Oak handles Crescent tonight.
Absolutely, and that's absolutely massive in terms of the landscape of the South Carolina High School League state playoffs in the 3A classification specifically. If the Bulldogs are able to secure 2nd place, they would host a first-round playoff game. So that would be huge for the program.
And we'll give updates on that Crescent and BHP game at halftime. As this halftime, we have our senior spotlight, as always. It's Chris Payne and Gavin Yeomans on the Rogers Petroleum halftime show on the Senior Spotlight, sponsored by Empire Homes. Sam, you had a chance to talk to both of those guys. How was it?
Yeah, it was great. That's one of my favorite parts of my preparation for these broadcasts, is talking to the guys either after practice on Wednesdays or Thursdays, just learning a bit about them, allowing them to tell their story to our listeners, to kind of just personalize some of the guys that you're hearing making plays on the field. It's been just an awesome idea and executed plan by Coach Hal and the rest of the Bulldog football staff, just to shine a light on these seniors. It's been awesome. Gavin and Chris were great, and I'm looking forward to y'all hearing from each of them at halftime.
So that brings up a 4th down after the carry on 3rd down from Coltrane was stopped for pretty much nothing, but West Oak will stay out there. So it's 4th down in about 3 yards on the Pendleton 46. Jumbo package. Burgess tries to take it himself. He is stopped. Doesn't even get back to the line to gain on a quarterback power. They had multiple people in the backfield. Burgess tried to do it himself and could not get anything done. A great stop by the Pendleton Bulldogs defense once again, and with 3 minutes and 41 seconds, they have time to run a good old-fashioned 4-minute drill to try to get more points going into halftime.
Absolutely, and Fisher Saylor is the first one in the backfield to make the stop on Harry Burgess, the quarterback, on that play. But really, the entire front 7 for the Bulldogs just blowing up their assignments and gang tackling the 6'6", 200-pound quarterback, Harry Burgess, to give the offense the ball at their own 47-yard line.
Now Jackson Ullman, who showed brilliant flashes coming back from injury tonight with some big throws. Played a little bit last week, but his first start since the Keenan game coming here. He'll hand it off to Bray Spear. Spear will get back to the line again after cutting back inside his right tackle. and they'll get a gain about 1 yard, making 2nd down and 9. But Allman coming back, I think, is a huge story for this game. Dax Allen, who originally started the season at Mike linebacker, did a great job filling in for him at quarterback, led Pendleton to a winning record in that 5-game span. Very impressive. Handoff again, goes to Spear. He'll get over the 50 this time. It'll be a 3rd down and 6.
It's actually Jenkins on the carry last time.
Jenkins coming in for Spear, the Thunder and Lightning duo. Jenkins the shorter back, Spear the bigger power back.
Jenkins rocking some pink cleats and pink gloves tonight during this Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Very stylish look for Deshaun Jenkins.
3rd down and 6. Allman rolls out, has a wide open receiver, but misses him. Pass incomplete, intended for number 13, Landon McMillan, who's come on strong in the past couple of games. He had a lot of space in the out route past the 40-yard line, but Allman just couldn't find him. A little bit of an overthrow.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate miss for Allman. He was rolling to his right and had all day to make that throw about 20 yards down the field, down the right sideline to McMillan. Really think he could have set his feet and taken a little bit more time to throw that one, but as I said, threw it while running to his right, and I think that's what made it sail a little bit wide of Landon McMillan, who, as you said, was wide open on the sideline.
A lot of times on those rollouts, it's so designed for them to be on their run. Even when they get so much room, they still don't, think about setting their feet and throwing it because of the design of the play. So sometimes just a mistake made or just an errant rush by a young high school quarterback. But the Bulldogs will now punt it away. They'll fake it. Sam Jennings back to pass. He finds Landon McMillan. He's got Landon McMillan complete past the 40-yard line, and he'll get quickly out of bounds. So what a play. Jennings had a low snap and was just able to fire it. That was Ty Miller on the catch, not McMillan. There is a flag on the play, unfortunately, and it looks like that one's coming back from Jennings to Miller on the fake punt.
Yeah, it looks like it was some sort of a punt-pass option for Jennings, the punter there, the do-it-all receiver, kickoff specialist, punt returner, and punter, Sam Jennings, and he rolled out, and as he was rolling out, a lineman went downfield, so they're going to get Pendleton for an ineligible receiver downfield. So that's going to wipe off the fake punt and also set the Bulldogs back an additional 5 yards.
Now surely they have to punt it away here, so a beautiful fake punt drawn up by Coach Grayson Howell, as he usually does with the special teams and the gadget plays. Such a great job of designing the unorthodox stylistic breaker. But now Pendleton will have to punt it away on 4th down. Still up 14-0. 2 minutes, 34 seconds left until halftime. 2 scores. A comfortable lead for Pendleton. They've been in control the entirety of this game, despite the first drive, which maybe you could argue was in the favor of the Warriors momentum-wise.
Pendleton will get the football to start the second half. West Oak won the toss and elected to receive back when we were having technical difficulties with the broadcast. Bulldog defense has done an outstanding job of really bending but not breaking, especially on that first drive that spanned 13 plays, ended with a blocked field goal from 34 yards out.
They've also done a really good job of containing Coltrane, who is the dynamic running back. He hasn't really had any explosive plays. I think he's had 1 carry of more than 8 yards so far. But otherwise, they've kept him pretty much in check. They'll need to do so again when the Warriors get this ball back for a 2-minute drill. Officials still deliberating about midfield. Don't know about what exactly, maybe the spot of the ball. The ball will be spotted on the Pendleton 44. And they will give it away. West Oak lined up in a defensive formation. They have no return man back. So they're in safe punt.
Hopefully Sam Jennings can boot one here and pin them inside the 20.
Nobody back deep to receive. Jennings will punt it away. Has it easy. But takes an unfortunate bounce in favor of the Warriors. The ball will stop rolling at the 25-yard line. So the Warriors will take over. 1st down and 10 for Harry Burgess and company. huge game in 3A, the Bulldogs and the Warriors. Bulldogs, if they win tonight and win against Crescent in the last game of the season, they will finish second in the region, which would be amazing considering how the season started.
Yeah, absolutely. You start 1-3, head into a bye week, and then rattle off consecutive wins against Carolina Academy, Travelers Rest, and last week against Walhalla. Start off the region slate 1-0, have the chance to advance to 2-0 this week if they can hold on against the Warriors of West Oak. Next week you have a tough challenge going on the road at BHP.
Tough challenge, no doubt. Bulldogs heavy underdogs going into that matchup that is at Belton Honey Path. So taking the trip down there to the undefeated squad who is battling tonight in a massive game against Crescent. But that Crescent game on Halloween night, October 31st, 2025, is circled on every Bulldog and every Tigers calendar. So second down here now with the Warriors back at it. Back wrap, and he will get up and inside the 40-yard line. So he'll get up into the 40 as the clock runs below 2 minutes.
That was probably the best play design of the day for this West Oak offense. They faked the jet left to right with Jake Williams, the sophomore, one of their dynamic playmakers on the outside. Pretty much the entire defense's eyes and body language went with him on the fake. Burgess able to take advantage.
And hand off to Coltrane. Will fake the handoff. Flags come out. Ball comes out, too. Zy Collymore's got it. Zy Collymore will waltz into the end zone untouched for a Bulldogs defensive touchdown if the play stands, and I believe it will, as those flags look to be on the offense of the Warriors. So the Bulldogs defense comes with a huge takeaway, and if this stands, Zy Collymore puts an exclamation point on the first half for Pendleton.
This coming at the 1:19 mark remaining in the first half. West Oak walking off the field as if it's on them. It is a hold against the Warriors, so a 40-yard scoop and score by Zy Collymore.
We saw Collymore get some offensive action earlier tonight before you guys joined us on the radio. And Collymore, now he really gets the ball in his hands, this time on defense. Zy scored a couple defensive touchdowns last season. Gets one right here. How beautiful is that? And that extra padding, 3 scores going into half, makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah, on that play, Burgess had a little bit of green grass, but I don't think the fumble was forced. I think he just lost the football.
Maybe a hand got on his arm and kind of tugged at it a little bit, but he definitely had possession of the ball and just let that one go after the play fake.
And a great display of athleticism by Zy Collymore. A lot of times you'll see guys go for the scoop and score and either whiff on the football or they'll grab the football and then they'll fall down. But no, Collymore in one fell swoop picked up the football, accelerated to full speed very quickly.
He had the time to slow down and really pick it up.
Yeah.
And then when he got it and possessed it, then he took off guns a-blazing into the end zone. Very impressive.
Absolutely.
Point after is no good by Sprayberry. So it'll be 20-0 with 1:19 left to go in the first half of football. At halftime, we'll hear from seniors for Pendleton, Chris Payne and Gavin Yeomans, as well as all of our sponsors who make this possible. So it's been a wild night, technical difficulties on multiple occasions, but we thank you so much for joining us on 105.1 WABB Spirit Radio for Pendleton Bulldogs football, brought to you by Longhorn Steakhouse. It's a beautiful high school football night. A lot of great games going on in the state of South Carolina. Obviously, we mentioned BHP and Crescent, a huge matter of importance for Bulldogs and Bulldogs faithful, as the Bulldogs will kick off with 3 back for the Warriors. They'll squib it to the right side, and that kick will go out of bounds around the 35-yard line, so that will be a flag. And the Warriors will be put in some pretty good field position to start their last drive, it could be, of the first half.
Yeah, Sprayberry a little upset with himself there as his hand's on his helmet. Not quite what he was looking to do there. I think he was looking to find some green grass on a little pooch punt in between the 40 and the 35, and unfortunately a little strong on the kick, and it goes out of bounds.
So that'll put the Bulldogs defense back on the field with The Warriors taking over on the 41-yard line in their own territory. So Burgess 2 turnovers on the day.
Now they're going to move it back to the 36.
Yeah, the referee started on the 36, took 5 steps to the 41, and now has walked back to the 36. So a little confusing there, no doubt about it, Sam. But they will start on the 36, the Warriors will.
Probably going to see a conservative approach here from West Oak. Only one timeout remaining, and this is not a team that has had success throwing the football this season.
Burgess with a turnover in the air and one on the ground. They will pass to start. They'll fire on a sprint out route. Pass is caught, I believe, by Williams on the right side, but he is quickly tackled for a gain of only 1 or 2.
About as conservative of a pass as you can have there on first down, and they're not in any hurry to get up to the line to run another play. They're still getting the next play call into quarterback Harry Burgess, but a nice throw on the run for Burgess, who's still trying to get in a rhythm passing the football this season.
Like you said, Sam, that serves effectively as a run play, but helps with the confidence of your quarterback who's already struggled tonight. On second down, they'll hand it off to Coltrane. Coltrane will get maybe a yard, but is brought down by multiple Bulldogs, including number 53, Fisher Saylor. Saylor's been all over the field tonight.
Absolutely. Had the big stop on the 2 drives ago on the turnover on downs, and now Pendleton going to use one of its remaining timeouts. They have 1 remaining ahead of this third down. Still 37.5 seconds remaining in the first half.
So the Bulldogs could be in a position where they have a Hail Mary attempt for some more points at the end of the first half. So with 37.5 left to go in the first, the Bulldogs take a timeout. We will hear from some of our sponsors.
Ghost Hunters. Imagine it's dark and you're being led by candlelight through a 200-year-old haunted plantation home. Sound scary? Sound fun? Don't miss your chance to be part of this once-a-year only event. Visit www.pendletonhistoricfoundation.org and purchase tickets to the wildly popular Pendleton Ghost Tours. Limited tickets will be sold, not for the faint of heart, and no one under 17 will be admitted. Call John at 864-646-7249 or visit www.pendletonhistoricfoundation.org today. Pendleton Historic Foundation, preserving and interpreting Pendleton's history. Go Bulldogs.
Back here with you for Pendleton Bulldogs football. On third down, Burgess just hands it off to Coltrane, and Coltrane goes nowhere. So it's a 4th down and 8. Will the Bulldogs choose to exercise another one of their timeouts? And yes, they will. So the punt unit has to come on for the Warriors after this timeout. And with 32.2, the Bulldogs will get another shot of it. We will hear from another one of our sponsors in the meantime.
Is your vehicle in need of a wash right now? Visit any Tiger Express Wash location in Clemson, Easley, Pendleton, or Seneca, and you can be through the tunnel with a clean, dry car in about 3.5 minutes. Plus, with the Anywhere Unlimited Fast Pass, keep that shine with a wash as often as you like at any of our upstate locations. Customers enjoy an eco-friendly, fun, jungle theme, and free vacuum use. Tiger Express Wash. More locations, same quality care.
4th down now. The Warriors set to punt it away. Back deep is the Swiss Army knife for the Bulldogs, Sam Jennings, number 4. Punt is up in the air. Jennings will have a clean shot at receiving it. He bobbles it a little bit, but it's clean receive. High tackle there as Jennings is tackled around the 35-yard line. He wants a face mask or a horse collar of some kind, as the tackle came in very high there with the arms wrapped around Jennings' helmet.
Great tackle by West Oak number 11, Paul Mann. Did a nice job taking away the edge from Jennings and wrestling him down in the process.
So with 22 seconds on the clock, the Bulldogs have the ball on their own 34-yard line. Not the field position you want for a late-game scenario, so they may just run it out here. But they are lined up in a double set. Looks like Allman will pass, or at least could. Quick pass goes to Mellow Mattress along the sideline. They get out of bounds almost immediately. Is that a design move there, Sam? Just like how you see in late-game situations, to just hit a guy and then let him get out of bounds to get quick, easy yardage with no time really taken off the clock?
I think so. I think you're going to try to get to around the plus 45-yard line before maybe a deep shot at the end zone. I think these quick hitters, we're going to see a few more.
We see the exact same play there. Mattress. This time he'll get across the 50, but he won't get out of bounds. So will the Bulldogs have to call another timeout? They cannot. And trying to get back to the line of scrimmage to spike the ball as the clock temporarily stops is Jackson Allman and company. They do. They will spike it with 7.8 left in the first half. They are on the 50-yard line.
They're about 5 yards shy of what I was hoping they would get to in the next couple of plays. Unfortunate that Mellow Mattress wasn't able to get out of bounds. He really probably could have.
He definitely could have. He cut back inside.
Cut back inside to maybe try to bust out for a more explosive play. Unfortunately, ends up costing the Bulldogs probably 5 or 6 seconds.
And that's why clock awareness is so important, as Coach Howell hammers that with those players. Sometimes you just caught up in the heat of the moment. So Allman fires. It's going to be a double pass. Jennings cannot release it. He just throws it over the middle.
0.1 seconds.
0.01 seconds on the clock. I don't know if they're going to call intentional grounding because it didn't seem like there was that many people in the area on the double pass, but there is 0.01 seconds on the clock. So the Bulldogs could get another play in, but there will be a flag for intentional grounding as that pass thrown to Jennings. Jennings almost nearly maimed to the ground and just threw it away successfully over the middle of the field. No intended receiver in that area that will push them back. And with 0.01, I think the Bulldogs are content to just knee on it now.
Absolutely. An unfortunate penalty there, but it was a fun try and a cool play design. Unfortunately, just well defended and well pressured by the front seven of West Oak there.
Yeah, the front seven really did all the work because Jennings had a chance on that deep shot on the left side if he were to get it off there. Very impressive. Now the Warriors come out and prevent. It's a trips right for the Bulldogs. Could be a heave to the end zone for Allman. Nope, it'll be a quick one to Zy Collymore. Collymore will get a decent chunk. He'll get to the 47, but he will not get anything going. So we will enter halftime with your score. Pendleton Bulldogs 20, West Oak Warriors 0. A great job by the Bulldogs. We're so happy to be with you. And we enter the halftime show sponsored by Rogers Petroleum and the Empire Homes Senior Spotlight, where Sam interviews Chris Payne and Gavin Yeomans. We'll be back from that interview for the second half of football right here on one of interpreting Pendleton's history. Go Bulldogs. Is your vehicle in need of a wash right now? Visit any Tiger Express Wash location in Clemson, Easley, Pendleton, or Seneca, and you can be through the tunnel with a clean, dry car in about 3.5 minutes. Plus, with the Anywhere Unlimited Fast Pass, keep that shine with a wash as often as you like at any of our upstate locations. Customers enjoy an eco-friendly, fun, jungle theme and free vacuum use. Tiger Express Wash. More locations, same quality care. Why not beat the heat with a cool, sweet treat? Book Gettin' Chili, your hometown traditional ice cream truck, for your next event. You can find and like us on Facebook and call 864-844-4384 to book us for your next event. That's 864-844-4384 for Gettin' Chili Ice Cream Truck. Liberty Hall is a 10-room bed and breakfast with ensuite bath in historic Pendleton, available for those traveling to our area and local getaways. Liberty Hall venue is a great location for wedding receptions, corporate meetings, parties, and events. Call Liberty Hall today for your next event. Are you in the market for a new washer or dryer? How about a new refrigerator or a new range? Maybe you'd rather have a new state-of-the-art TV and home theater system with surround sound. If so, be sure to go see the folks at Crenshaws TV and Appliance for the finest selection, advice, and service after the sale. Open 24/7 at www.tvandappliance.com. Proud sponsor of the Pendleton Bulldogs. That's www.tvandappliance.com. Looking for a place to connect and build community? Join us at Foothills Church in Pendleton. We meet every Sunday at 10 a.m. at Pendleton High School. Whether you're new to exploring your faith or looking for a new church home, you're welcome here. Come experience uplifting worship, a message with real-life application, and a community that cares. That's Foothills Church, Sundays at 10 a.m. at Pendleton High School. We can't wait to see you there.
West Cox Law Firm in Pendleton is proud to sponsor the Bulldogs. For help with real estate, wills, probate, or your small business, go see West Cox Law Firm in Pendleton. They're as tough and quick on your legal needs as the Bulldogs on a Friday night. Go to westcoxlaw.com after tonight's victory party to make your appointment. Guy's Pizza in Sandy Springs is the official pizza of Pendleton High School football. Come see us on Highway 76 right across the street from the Michelin plant in Sandy Springs. We're the home of the famous award-winning Bird Dog Pizza, along with many other specialty pizzas. We also have wings, calzone. With more than 70 years of proven performance and the best bankers in the industry, United Community is one of the strongest and most secure banks in the Southeast. They are proud to have just won their 10th J.D. Power Award for Best Customer Satisfaction in the Southeast, and they're recognized by J.D. Power as the #1 most trusted bank. They're headquartered in Greenville, South Carolina.
Sam Goodrow back with you here as part of our Senior Spotlight interview series. Today we're talking to Gavin Yeomans. Gavin, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Doing well, Gavin. First off, just kind of walk me through your journey playing football. How long have you been playing? How long have you been playing with Pendleton? Just let's start it off with that.
Well, I've been playing since 10 years. This is going to be my 9th year playing in total, and I played all 4 years at Pendleton High School.
That's awesome. So have you been able to kind of just grow up with the same guys and move up with them from the recreation department all the way up to varsity?
Yes, sir. I've kind of grow up playing football with most everybody from I've played with during rec. Kind of play with basically everybody. We've all made it up to the varsity level and just kept playing. Didn't really fall off or anything. We all just stuck together and made it up to varsity senior year.
That's awesome. And then coming into this season, obviously you guys didn't get off to the start that you wanted to, starting 1-3 in your first 4 games. But what does it say about you guys' team and your mindset that you've been able to rattle off 3 straight wins since starting off at 1-3?
Yeah, we weren't really starting off the best. It didn't really go great, but we finally all just decided it was time to block in and get ready. We didn't really take it serious, I would say, all the way. We didn't really focus hard. But after that bye week, during the bye week, we all just changed our mindsets. All the mindsets just changed. We locked in more. We focused more. We focused more on the game plan of the week. And ever since then, we just gone 3-0. Started off better. After the bye week, we're just going 3-0.
Absolutely, and you got off to a good start last week against Walhalla to open up region play. Just as a two-way player, you play both linebacker and tight end. What was it like to see Dax Allen move over from defense to playing quarterback when Jackson Allman was hurt?
I think it was kind of nice that he was able to go over, know what to do, and be ready whenever his name was called. Just be able to step up and take it over until Jackson Allman came back.
Absolutely. What are some of your hobbies off the field, Gavin? What do you like to do in your free time?
In my free time, I like to go fishing, hang out with my family and friends, go play some pickleball, and watch sports. And yeah.
What are your favorite sports teams?
My favorite sports teams are Clemson, the Rams, the Braves, and the Falcons.
That's awesome. I'm a Falcons fan as well. How'd you become a Rams fan?
So when I was younger, my dad had always liked the Falcons, and I had always liked them too. And then the Rams, they weren't doing the best, but I started liking the colors and liked some of the players on there, and I just started liking them, really.
That's awesome. Kind of take me through what you do on game days in terms of your routine, how you get focused for a game. Do you have any music you listen to, anything you always like to eat before the game, anything like that?
Nothing specifically to eat, but always gotta have a pregame meal, just anything really. And then I don't really listen to certain music much. I always listen to some country and some Christian music right beforehand. Always go out and get ready, and then lock in, go over the game plan, go over the team, like what the game plan is for that week, and then get out on the field and go play some football.
So, Gavin, a lot of the assistant coaches don't necessarily get as much love just because they're not as outward-facing and forward-facing as Coach Howell is. But tell me about your position coaches or any other assistant coaches that have really been impactful on you throughout your time as a Bulldog.
Yeah, some of the coaches that have been impact on me whenever I was been a football player, like Coach Leopard, Coach Moses, Coach Wooten, whenever I started switching to defense this year, and Coach Maloney, he's helped with the tight end, and then Coach Skelly, as he just came this year, starting to help us all learn how to do better, learn the stuff on offense. They've all been helpful, super helpful during my career in high school.
Who are some of your closest friends on the team, Gavin?
I'd say some of my closest friends on the team would be Matthew Cooper, Ethan Rexroth, Grayson Wynn, and Mason Wilson, and probably Brody Sprayberry.
That's awesome. What's been your favorite memory so far throughout either your career at Pendleton or even specifically this season?
Probably just, I don't know, probably my sophomore year, just starting off the season, going great, started off 7-0, I believe, and get down to Daniel game, we go last few seconds, and just hearing the crowd, the first time I ever heard a crowd that loud, JV, varsity, any level, just for the 2-point to win the game. And even though we didn't get the 2-point, it's the loudest I've ever heard a crowd, and just never forget that moment.
That's awesome, man. What are your plans after you graduate?
As of right now, I'd want to play a sport in college, either between baseball or football. But other than that, I don't know right now. Other than just go play a sport in college, hopefully.
And then last question for Gavin Yeomans as we continue on our Senior Spotlight interview series. Gavin, how do you guys take the momentum you've created over the last 3 games and continue that through the rest of the season?
We're just going to keep going, keep focusing on gameplay, keep doing everything that we've been doing, just focusing in more and try to play more clean football. We've had a few false starts and holding and roughing the passers recently. But we're gonna clean that all up and play a smooth game this week, and throughout the rest of the season, and go and just playing good. Just gotta keep focused.
Absolutely. Well, Gavin, we look forward to seeing how the rest of the season goes for you guys. This is going to wrap us up on our Senior Spotlight interview series with Gavin Yeomans. Stay tuned. We're going to have an interview a little bit later with Chris Payne. Sam Goodrow back with you on our Senior Spotlight interview series. Today we're catching up with Bulldog Senior number 52, Chris Payne. Chris, how you doing?
I'm doing great today. How are you?
Doing well, Chris. So first off, if you don't mind, just walk me through your football journey, like how long you've been playing football, if that's all come in Pendleton, if it's been other places. Just start off with that.
Well, I've really been playing football since I was really 5. I moved down here when I turned 15, and then I started playing football in middle school, and I got to high school just playing football, and it's just been my sport.
So how crazy is it to just realize and have it set in that you're a senior?
It's real crazy. I mean, it's something I'm gonna miss playing football for the high school. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the coaches, but it kind of hurts that I'm leaving.
Absolutely. And speaking of coaches, outside of the head coach, Grayson Howell, who are some of the assistant coaches that have been really impactful on you throughout your time with Pendleton?
Coach Moody, Coach Wooten, Coach Johnson, Coach Rhodes. He's not a Pendleton coach, but he used to coach at Riverside, and Coach Winfrey. He used to coach at Riverside too, but he doesn't coach at Riverside no more. I'm pretty sure he coaches at Walhalla.
That's awesome, man. What are some of the biggest lessons that some of these position coaches or assistant coaches have taught you, either about football or about life in general?
That always own up to your mistakes. Don't let nobody bring you down. And just your alignment is your assignment.
That's awesome, man. And then this season, obviously you guys didn't get out to the start that you wanted, starting 1-3 on the season. But what does it say about your team and your mindset and the ability to bounce back that you guys have rattled off 3 wins in a row and are now sitting at 4-3?
My mindset is that we're gonna make it to the playoffs and succeed through the playoffs. And our team is a strong team. We fight hard and play hard, and we're just coached very well.
Continuing to visit with Bulldogs senior Chris Payne on our senior spotlight interview series. Chris, what was it like when in the Keenan game you have your starting quarterback Jackson Allman go down and Dax Allen steps in and plays quarterback going over from the defense for the next few games?
It hurt seeing the starting quarterback going down, but knowing that Dax Allen was right there to go, ready to be the quarterback for the rest of the game, brings a lot of pride to his side, and it shows the coaches a lot that he's a big team player.
Absolutely. It really seemed like you guys as a team kind of flipped a switch after the bye week. Was there anything in practice during the bye week or any message from the coaches that really allowed you guys as players to flip the script and start playing your best football?
The coaches said that a bye week, it's not an off week. We don't take a break. It's a week that we get better. It doesn't matter if we don't have a game at all. It's still a week to get better, and it's not an off week.
Absolutely. Chris, what are some of your hobbies outside of football?
Fishing, working, and just being out with friends.
Speaking of friends, who are some of the guys on the team that you are closest with?
I'd like to say Gaines Buchanan, Walker Dunlap, Mason Wilson, Dax Allen, Trent Gardner. That's really it.
That's awesome, man. It sounds like that was a lot of offensive linemen and defensive linemen you named, as well as a couple others. What is it about just the linemen coming together as a brotherhood? What makes all of you guys so close?
We're a family. We protect each other like a family. It's just football brings all the linemen together as a tight family, and it doesn't change. It just makes each and every one of them love each other, protect them throughout the sports and throughout life.
Absolutely. What kind of music do you like to listen to before games to get yourself psyched up and get in the right headspace?
I like to listen to rap music. Sometimes I listen to calm music because it just takes out all the negativity, brings in all the positive, so it just locks me in, keeps my head focused on the game and nothing else.
Who are some of your favorite artists?
I'd like to say NBA Youngboy, Huncho, Rod Wave, and Pooh Shiesty.
That's awesome, man. You guys have won 3 games in a row and you've kind of built some momentum for yourself to carry throughout the rest of the season. How do you guys build on those 3 straight victories as you continue on in region play?
Just keep fighting every day. Play hard, practice hard. Just play hard and just keep just keep doing the same thing over and over without stopping. Just keep working every day in the weight room, on the field, and that's about it.
Last couple questions with Chris Payne here on our Senior Spotlight interview series. Chris, what has been your favorite memory throughout your time playing football for the Bulldogs?
Getting my first sack my freshman year against West Oak on varsity.
That's awesome. I'm sure that was a great moment for you. We hope to see you accumulate some more sacks throughout the rest of this season. Last one for Chris Payne. Chris, what is your message to the Bulldog fans and the Bulldog community that have supported you throughout your time in Pendleton?
Don't let nobody bring you down. Always keep your head up. Always have positivity. Words are just words. And there's kindness out there in the world. Just give God your life. Let God guide you in the right way.
That's a great message, Chris. That's going to do it for our Senior Spotlight interview series feature with Bulldog Senior Chris Payne. Chris, thank you so much for your time.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Radio, David Poley and Sam Gaudreau on the call. And thank you so much for being with us amidst technical difficulties in the first half. Your score at halftime with 2 minutes to go until the second half is 20-0 in favor of the Bulldogs over the West Oak Warriors. Let's give you a little bit of how we got there in the first half. It was a Bray Spear touchdown run. Then it was a Jackson Allman pass to Mellow Mattress. And then it was a defensive touchdown right at the end by Zy Collymore. That leaves us 20-0. The Bulldogs have been pretty successful. They've been able to move the ball all night for the most part against the Warriors. The Warriors struggling with turnovers, consistency, and a lot of other things, including penalties. We wanted to give you an update on that BHP Crescent game that matters so much for the region, as the Bulldogs 4-3, looking to move to 5-3 tonight, as they most likely will, barring a crazy second-half comeback from the Warriors, which we've seen the likes of in South Carolina Upstate high school football, so please stay tuned. And the Warriors 4-4 looking to get past 500. BHP undefeated, the current region leaders in the 3A group that Pendleton belongs to. And Crescent 5-2. The score at halftime is the Bears 28 of BHP, Belton Honia Path, and the Tigers of Crescent 13. So a 15-point lead for BHP at halftime. Obviously, we said in the first half that Pendleton heads to BHP at BHP next week in a matchup that will be huge. Obviously, the Bulldogs will be underdogs, as BHP has such a great home crowd and very talented team this year, undefeated, looking to stay that way tonight against Crescent. So everything, all eyes of Bulldogs and Tigers fans alike, move to that 10:31 game on October 31st, Halloween night. It'll be the Bulldogs and the Tigers. Sam, give us a little preview of that game.
Yeah, so that's going to be a big one. Obviously, we're not privy to seeing actual footage of how Crescent has played throughout this season, but just looking at some of their scores, a 65-20 victory against the Razorbacks, some other just key blowout victories stand to show that this Crescent team can really put up some points. And if you remember last year, I broadcasted that Crescent-Pendleton game at Crescent. That game came down to the wire and was a really exciting and back-and-forth game. I anticipate the same thing this year. Good news for the Bulldogs. It'll be right here in Cunningham Stadium under the lights on Halloween night. Let's hope it gets spooky for the Crescent Tigers.
No doubt about it. Hopefully it will get spooky, but not for the Bulldogs. So the Bulldogs firmly in control will line up to receive the second-half kickoff after the Warriors decided to receive it in the first half after winning the coin toss. We'd like to thank all of our sponsors, as Pendleton Bulldog Football sponsored by Longhorn Steakhouse. We'd also like to thank Rains on Exchange, Rogers Petroleum Incorporated, Guy's Pizza, Empire Homes, Pendleton Historic Foundation, Get and Chili Ice Cream Truck, West Cox Attorney at Law, Liberty Hall Bed and Breakfast, Black Tie Cahaly's, Foothills Community Church, Crenshaws, Tiger Express Wash, Ken Rowland, Mac.Bid, and everybody else who makes this possible. Kickoff is away, and there will be a return by number 6, Mellow Mattress. Mattress will get down the right side. Mattress will get down the right. There's nobody beating Mattress. Will go all the way. Mellow Mattress kicks off the second half with a return touchdown. What a job by Mattress staying tight to the right sideline without going out of bounds. No flags on the play, and Mellow Mattress kicks us off with a bang in the second half.
Shout out to Mellow Mattress, taking advantage of the opportunity. Usually not one of the two kickoff return specialists. It's usually Sam Jennings and Jace Harrison-Whitner, with Whitner being ejected on the first couple drives of the game. Mellow Mattress fields the kickoff and just bursts down the near sideline, outrunning the entire kickoff unit for West Oak. Got a nice block around the 45-yard line and uses his speed to take it the distance.
As the PAT is no good from Spraybearer, so his frustrating season continues. But the Bulldogs are up 26-0 thanks to Mellow Mattress. That's his second touchdown of the game. Maybe he gets a rushing touchdown in on a jet sweep later, because his first one came on a pass, second one on return. Could get the trifecta later on, but more importantly is the Bulldogs are out in front, and they carried over that momentum from a dominant first half to start the second.
Absolutely. Mellow Mattress racking up the all-purpose yards tonight, has several catches, including a 30-yard touchdown pass from Jackson Allman, and he racks up 90-plus kickoff return yards to add to his well over 125 all-purpose yards so far in this game, and we are just a play into the second half.
What a game so far here on homecoming night. The student section in a blackout theme. Wonderful black shirts being displayed. The Bulldogs in their gold helmet, black uniform. As always, sporting some pink accessory in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. As the kickoff goes to the short man, caught around the 25. That'll be number 33, John Price. He'll get the ball up to around the 37-yard line for the Warriors, who badly need something to start their first offensive drive of the second half.
Yep, down 4 scores. Really have not been able to sustain a drive since their second drive of the game. Well, actually their third drive of the game. Everything since that third drive of the game has been either a 3-and-out, a turnover on downs, or a turnover. So Bulldogs give up a 13-play drive on the opening possession for the Warriors that reaches the 24-yard line. But really nothing since for this Warriors offense.
High snap. Burgess able to get it down, hands it off to Coltrane. Coltrane will get a big block over the middle. Coltrane will get across the 45. Coltrane will have his first big play of the night.
Great run by Coltrane. Had a nice hole between the tackles in the B gap. Able to show off the speed to run away from the second-level defenders. Finally tackled down, but now before he crosses midfield into Bulldog territory.
What a great job by Coltrane. The first time he's really gone to that second level thanks to blocks from his offensive linemen working up. So first down and 10 now for the Warriors. They're quickly back to the line of scrimmage. Burgess will have his man in motion, coming right to left, and hand it off to Coltrane. Once again, Coltrane bounces outside to the left side, but Coltrane will go nowhere. Flag does come out, but a great tackle there made by Branson Wilson.
It's maybe a face mask on Zy Collimore.
Wilson, the middle linebacker now for the Bulldogs, came in to relieve Dax Allen, who was relieving Jackson Allman at quarterback. Wilson did such a good job of spelling him during that game span that now he's got the full job to his architect of the defense. And Dax Allen is at Rover, so he'll have played so many linebacker positions in his decorated Pendleton career, as there will be a face mask on Collymore, and that does move the Bulldogs defense back, leaving Wilson and company a lot of opportunity to do what they do best as a Bulldogs defense and bend but not break.
Just a little bit unfortunate, Collymore there to make the play, but as he's reaching to make the tackle, he gets caught in the face mask of the receiver on the play.
Run out of the pistol. Coltrane able to get some steam from under him once again. and he'll move to the 32-yard line. So this run game now finally finding some life for the Warriors, and that's exactly what their offense is built on.
And West Oak has found the most success running the football when they've put Jake Williams in motion to kind of distract the Pendleton defense, clear up some rushing lanes for either their quarterback, Harry Burgess, or the running back, James Coltrane, just to find space to gain positive yardage. And we saw Harry Burgess do it on a quarterback keeper early in the game, a fake jet QB power, and then this time it's just a straight give up the middle to Coltrane.
Now with the ball, Burgess gives it off to Coltrane. So important for ball security, as there's only been 2 turnovers, one on a fumble from Burgess in the first half. As a flag comes in after that inside zone handoff went straight to Coltrane, will be a flag on the offense, and holding will move back the Warriors 10 yards. But that ball security is so important. Down 26 points, you need every single possession that you can get.
Absolutely, and West Oak, kind of in the same vein as this Pendleton offense, not necessarily an offense that can afford to be set back behind the chains. They're a team that likes to run the ball about 90% of the time, and really have not found any success throwing the ball this season. No passing touchdowns, probably very limited explosive plays through the air. So a situation like this where you're facing 1st and 20, that can almost be a drive killer.
Trips light for Burgess. Burgess will throw to the trip side, throws behind the line of scrimmage. That's caught by Jake Williams. Williams will get up and break a tackle, and he will actually get some positive yardage out of that play, moving across the 40, but still second down and very long after the penalty on first down.
It's an impressive job by Jake Williams, who caught it well behind the line of scrimmage to regain his balance, make a couple Pendleton defenders miss, and ends up gaining about 4 yards on the play. So great job by Jake Williams.
The Warriors taking their time, even though time is not really their ally. 9 minutes and 15 seconds left to go in this third quarter. Burgess will fake a jet once again, but give it off to Coltrane going the other way, and another flag will come in from the near side official that lands at the 40-yard line. Flags providing to a slow start for this second half.
Dave, we talked about how fast that first half went by, and now with the extended halftime for homecoming, you get a touchdown on the first play on the kickoff return by Mellow Mattress, and now several flags, and all of a sudden the second half is seeming like it's going to drag on forever. We've been out of halftime for probably about 13 minutes. Only 2 minutes and 55 seconds have come off of the clock here.
Speaking of homecoming, I want to give a shout-out to the Pendleton homecoming queen, Brendasia Alexander. So an unbelievable night for Pendleton fans, Pendleton faithful, with the homecoming ceremony at halftime, and likely a Bulldog win on October 17th, 2025. So after another penalty for the Warriors, they get back out there. It's a second down, and it looks like 20 yards. Second down and 20. Clock stoppage by the referees. Will be a timeout for West Oak, so we will hear from our sponsors.
Attention, ghost hunters. Imagine it's dark and you're being led by candlelight through a 200-year-old haunted plantation home. Sound scary? Sound fun? Don't miss your chance to be part of this once-a-year-only event. Visit www.pendletonhistoricfoundation.org and purchase tickets to the wildly popular Pendleton Ghost Tours. Limited tickets will be sold, not for the faint of heart, and no one under 17 will be admitted. Call John at 864-646-7249 or visit www.pendletonhistoricfoundation.org today. Pendleton Historic Foundation, preserving and interpreting Pendleton's history. Go Bulldogs. Guy's Pizza in Sandy Springs is the official pizza of Pendleton High School football. Come see us on Highway 76 right across the street from the Michelin plant in Sandy Springs. We're the home of the famous award-winning Bird Dog Pizza, along with many other specialty pizzas. We also have wings, calzones, strombolis, hot subs, dessert pizza, and much more. To place an order, call 1410 or stop by and dine in with
Back with you, second down and very long for the Warriors. Burgess drops back to pass. Will just dump it off to his check down receiver on the right sideline. But another flag on the play. That's the third straight play with a flag thrown, and it likely will be on the Warriors once again.
It's going to be holding against the Warriors. Look to set up a quick hitter on the outside. Kind of a tunnel screen type look without the lineman downfield. But once again derailed by a holding flag. It's going to set the Warriors back an additional 10 yards and set up a 2nd and 31.
And just when the Warriors looked like they had something going with that run game, these penalties have put them in an otherworldly backed-up spot. They're now in their own territory once again, and it's 2nd down and 30. They will have to do a lot of work to dig them out of the hole, nonetheless in this game, but right here on this drive. Hand it off to Coltrane. Coltrane will maybe get a yard or two. They will be still shy of midfield, and it brings down to 3rd and very long. So not a lot of optimism, it seems, on the side of West Oak and head coach Glenn Padgett, as they are very content with just running this football down 26 points.
Bulldogs brought a linebacker blitz on the play. Calhoun Mize coming down as the 5th rusher. Trent Garner able to come in and make the tackle on that 2nd down.
Burgess back to pass on 3rd down. Screen pass intended for Coltrane and just over his head. Way too high on the jump throw from Burgess. And that screen play does not get anywhere at all. Not that it would have, with Dax Allen right there to make the tackle if Coltrane would have caught it. So 4th down after the incompletion, and the Warriors will punt it yet again in this game.
A lot of pressure in the face of the quarterback Burgess on that 3rd down. He had 5 black shirts right up in his face, trying to dump it off to the running back Coltrane, and Coltrane would have had to make a spectacular play to get around Dax Allen, but still looked like a play that had some potential.
A booming high punt, well short of the intended returner, Sam Jennings. And Pendleton will get the ball after the ball stops rolling on their own 24-yard line. So with 7 minutes and 25 seconds left to play, still in the 3rd, the Bulldogs could be trying to get a running clock if they score a couple of more touchdowns, if the offense stays smooth like it has been going.
And this is a good opportunity for this Bulldog offense to move the ball with some consistency, stay ahead of the chains, no negative plays, no penalties, get the run game really established in dominant fashion here and get some of this time off the clock.
Could we possibly see a shot play? Obviously, Coach Howell doesn't want to rub it in the Coach Padgett and the West Oak faithful, as the Warriors are a very tough football team, play the game the right way. But you have to be in a situation where maybe you're thinking about the running clock on homecoming night. Maybe you're thinking about, okay, we have a comfortable lead. We want to get Jackson Holman comfortable with the deep balls going into BHP next week.
Yeah, that's a good point. To beat a team like BHP, you're going to have to connect on some of those explosive plays, those shots down the field. You have the speed to do it with guys like Mellow Mattress, hopefully Jace Harrison-Whitner back in the fold next week and play some offense as we saw last week. Sam Jennings, we know what he can do on the outside. I think it all starts with this running attack, Spear and Jenkins. The Bulldogs' offense is at its best when Jenkins and Spear can help keep this offense ahead of the chains and rush for about 5 or 6 a pop.
They need to be firmly in control of what they want to do. And that will start off with an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, I believe, against the Warriors. So that moves them up a good bit of yards, the Bulldogs' offense, it does. So they will start the offensive drive on their own 38. So a good turn of fortune for the Bulldogs. Jackson Allman line up in shotgun. Has 2 receivers to his right, a tight end, and another receiver to his left with a back right beside him. Handoff goes to Deshaun Jenkins. Jenkins will get close to the Bulldog logo just shy of midfield. He's on the logo. Carry goes to the 47-yard line. It'll be a 2nd down and 1 after a gain of 9.
That's exactly what I'm wanting to see out of this Pendleton offense. Just get Bray Spear downhill. Trust that your offensive line can dominate their defensive line. Spear again on 2nd down. He's going to easily pick up the 1st down. 4 yards on the play. Gets into West Oak territory at the 49-yard line.
Great job there by the Pendleton offense, really doing what they want to, playing slow, taking time off this clock as we're underneath the 7-minute mark now. Pendleton now on the 49. Allman will bring McMillan in motion from the wide side and hand it off to Spear. Spear has a hole. Spear is able to cut up, but slips after what could have been a big gain. Obviously beating himself up there as he puts hands on the helmet. He was down at the opposing 45-yard line.
Spear had bounced it outside and was looking to cut back inside and maybe explode for a big run, but unfortunately lost his footing right at the 45 and slipped down.
2nd down and 5 now. Carry to Spear once again. Spear trying to push outside but has nowhere to go there. And that'll be a loss of a couple yards. But a flag at the end of the play as some shoving being exchanged between the Warriors and the Bulldogs. It will be an unsportsmanlike conduct. Could be in the favor of the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Spear was already a couple steps out of bounds and then got drugged down really around his neck by one of the West Oak defenders. So they're going to call unnecessary roughness against him, and that'll add 15 yards to the end of the run and fresh set of chains for the Bulldog offense.
Everything coming up Pendleton in this second half after Mellow Mattress's huge kickoff return touchdown, and now a couple of unsportsmanlike penalties have given them a lot of extra yardage to start off this drive in the second half. Very similar to the drive that the Warriors got with the 2 unsportsmanlike penalties when we were not on the air in the first quarter, but this time it comes for Pendleton already up big. They fake the jet on the backside handoff after giving it to Spear. A very interesting play design. Spear takes it to the wide side, not able to get much with it, though. Excuse me, that was Jenkins on the carry. No, it was Spear.
Had a lot going on there. Both backs in the backfield. You also had Sam Jennings coming on an orbit motion. Like Dave said, they handed it to Spear. After handing it to Spear, Allman turned around and faked the give to Jennings, which confused a few West Oak defenders, but the near side defenders doing a really nice job staying with Spear on the play and limiting him to just a pickup of 1.
Second down and 9 now. Allman back to pass. Will fire to the end zone. Mattress, the intended receiver. Mattress goes up. And he's got it. He secures the catch. He went up and absolutely bagged the Warrior defender. Is able to come down with it. Bobbled it just a bit at the end, but was able to haul that in like a basket catch. A great job.
But it's coming back.
Oh.
Flag against the Bulldogs. A holding against number 77, Jaden Wilson. That's really unfortunate because it was probably catch of the year for the Bulldogs.
That would have been incredible. It would have been Mattress's 3rd touchdown of the night, 2nd through the air. But unfortunately, the holding penalty having it come back. What a throw and catch by Jackson Allman and Mattress. Their connection definitely being made stronger tonight.
That's exactly the type of play that the Bulldogs are going to need next week if they're going to have a chance to knock off the BHP Bears on the road. Obviously, without the holding penalty to offset it. But a really nice throw, as you said, by Allman with some touch on it.
Now on 2nd down and very long. It'll be Jenkins with the carry. Jenkins will get inside the 10. Jenkins to the 5. Jenkins will be tackled at the 5-yard line. Great job by Deshaun Jenkins picking back pretty much every single yard that they just lost.
So a 39-yard passing touchdown wiped off the board on the previous play. And what does Deshaun Jenkins do? He responds with a 39-yard run down to the 5-yard line.
Great job by Deshaun Jenkins as there is a injured Bulldog on the field. So we will take a quick break to hear from some of our sponsors while that gets...
Why not beat the heat with a cool, sweet treat? Book Gettin' Chili, your hometown traditional ice cream truck for your next event. You can find and like us on Facebook and call 864-844-4384 to book us for your next event. That's 864-844-4384 for Gettin' Chili Ice Cream Truck.
Liberty Hall is a 10-room bed and breakfast with ensuite bath in historic Pendleton, available for those traveling to our area and local getaways. Liberty Hall venue is a great location for wedding receptions, corporate meetings, parties, and events. Call Liberty Hall today for your next event. Are you in the market for a new washer or dryer? How about a new refrigerator or a new range? Maybe you'd rather have a new state-of-the-art TV and home theater system with surround sound. If so, be sure to go see the folks at Crenshaws TV and Appliance for the finest selection, advice, and service after the sale. Open 24/7 at www.tvandappliance.com. Proud sponsor of the Pendleton Bulldogs. That's www.tvandappliance.com. Back with you, 105.1 WABB Spirit Radio. It's Pendleton Bulldog football, sponsored by Longhorn Steakhouse. The Bulldogs have it first and goal on the 5. Jackson Ullman will fire on first down. The pass is caught. Fade ball back of the end zone. Touchdown, Bulldogs. Intended receiver and touchdown recipient is number 1, Zy Collimore. That's his second touchdown of the day, his first on offense, as he now has both a defensive and offensive score in this contest. What a ball from Jackson Ullman. Perfect vine, fade, back left corner.
Yeah, I was a little concerned that he might have overthrown his man there in the end zone, but a great job by Collimore getting up underneath it, beating his man to the corner, and hauling it in for the 5-yard receiving touchdown. If you think back to last season, we first saw Collimore utilized on offense against Keenan in that neutral site game at Newberry. Had a couple touchdowns coming out of the backfield. Was utilized as a receiving back. That was back when he wore jersey number 25. Now as we get into region season, I'd love to see more packages with Collimore, as he's one of the more dynamic athletes on this team. We've seen him pretty much exclusively on defense, playing that free safety position for the Bulldogs, but obviously has the receiver skills, as he just showed off on that touchdown reception. Sprayberry adding the extra point to make it a 33-0 game with 4:35 remaining in the third quarter.
Such a talented player Collimore is. Has been all over the defense and has been used on offensive packages in the past 2 seasons for Pendleton. This season he slots in as the defense's starting strong safety after playing a little bit of rover last year. So talented. Number 1 for a reason on his jersey. So now 33-0 in favor of the Bulldogs. Running clock could be in play with a couple more scores. Kickoff from Sprayberry is returned at the 5-yard line. Return up the middle before the return man is tripped up. The returner there was number 43, Anthony Blackwelder, the sophomore. Good return by Blackwelder. Good stop there. Preston Barnes, number 22, the senior linebacker. And the Warriors will take over at their own 34. Now down 33 points. Running clock not into effect yet. But the Warriors massively need something that they can take into next week as they host Wahala. Very much a winnable game for them, as Wahala is over.
Yeah, well, my father and I had the opportunity to broadcast that game last week, and Wahala just a team that is really struggling right now and should be a competitive game between the two squads.
West Oak definitely will need that one to get back to 500 and make a claim for third in the region, because it's Pendleton, it's Crescent, it's BHP, it's Wahala. That's that region right there. It's going to be a battle between, that's 5 teams, right? I'm sure, yeah. 5 teams, BHP, Pendleton, Crescent, Wahala, and West Oak. That's 5. It'll be a battle between West Oak and Wahala for 4th in the region, and a battle between Pendleton and Crescent for 2nd. If BHP continues on the dominance that they are, which BHP still in the lead over Crescent. Not much update from halftime so far. as the Crescent Tigers in Ivy, South Carolina, are hosting the Bears. Still down 15 on their home turf coming out of halftime. So quickly, it's a 3rd down and long for the Warriors. 3rd down and 8. Burgess to the line. He's got trips to his right. Coltrane is with him in the backfield. There's 3 minutes left exactly in the 3rd quarter. A big 3rd down for the Warriors, looking to take something into next week. They desperately need a score here. Burgess to pass. Ball is incomplete. As it was a great job by number 3, Branson Wilson, absolutely lighting up the intended receiver. Jake Williams once again. Great job by Branson Wilson, just breaking that one off. Laid the boom there.
Absolutely took the perfect pursuit angle, read the quarterback's eyes, and delivered the hit and jarred the football out in the process. So another 3-and-out forced by this Bulldog defense. And that's going to be their 7th consecutive drive, either ending in a 3-and-out, turnover on downs, or a turnover. So fantastic job tonight by the Bulldog defense.
Punt goes away, low to the ground, bounces, rolls, nearly blocked.
It actually was partially blocked.
Partially blocked. So it makes sense on that roll. Pendleton will take over in between the 35 and the 40. The ball will be placed on the 37. So Pendleton quick to get it back after that score. So with 2:33, they have another opportunity to get it going.
Starters still on the field for the Bulldogs. Do have one reserve receiver, and that's Landon Moody in the slot on the near side. You still have Spear, you still have Allman, you still have the first-team offensive line out there for this series.
Pendleton looking to put the running clock on as it is 42 or more at halftime or any point beyond halftime. But the West Oak head coach, if they are down 30 or more entering the 4th quarter, may request a running clock if they so choose. Short carry there on 1st down. On 2nd and 9, flag comes in before Allman can even hike the football from the near sideline judge.
And they get a false start on the outside receiver, Landon McMillan, flinched on the play.
So now I'll move them back to a 2nd down and 14. Bulldogs most likely going to keep this drive on the ground and maybe look for a deep shot like they did last drive. Kind of did exactly what you said they were going to do, Sam. Really establish control and then a couple deep shots to get it going. Hopefully bring something into BHP next week. Flag comes in off of a toss on the left side to Spear. Spear got some good forward progress. It was pushed back, and it will be a hold on the Bulldogs again. So very sloppy 3rd quarter, even though the Bulldogs doing well.
Absolutely, and once again, these early penalties really have derailed Pendleton offensive drives all season. Going to be way behind the chains after the enforcement of this 10-yard penalty. Ball's going to be marked all the way back at the Pendleton 23-yard line with the line to gain being the 47. So 2nd down and 24 coming up.
So big time back up here. Big time back up here. Allman will fire, incomplete. Pass intended on the slant for Jennings. Hit his backhand, but incomplete. They tried to get a lot back there on that 2nd down, and now they're put themselves in a very 3rd and long situation. Might want to stick on the ground here, get some clock back, and then punt it away. They're already up with a big lead. I could see Coach Howell doing exactly that.
I think that's what I would do as well in this situation.
Motion out of the backfield. Allman will fire over the middle. That's number 17, Matthew Cooper, the senior, on the catch. He found some open space and was able to get a decent chunk. Moves it to a 4th down and 16. And the Bulldog punt unit will come onto the field. Clock is running, though. We are under a minute to play in the third quarter, awaiting the fourth. Jennings out there to punt for the Bulldogs. And once again, the Warriors don't have a deep man to receive. Now they do, after a quick adjustment.
Xavier Short back deep, sophomore receiver, 6 feet tall, 155 pounds. His heels on the 39-yard line.
Jennings to punt it away. Sky high after almost being blocked. We'll take a Bulldogs bounce and get over the 50-yard line before stopping at the 49 of the Warriors. So we'll hear from one of our sponsors before the Warriors get the ball back with 19.9 seconds left on the clock.
Are you in the market for a new washer or dryer? How about a new refrigerator or a new range? Maybe you'd rather have a new state-of-the-art TV and home theater system with surround sound. If so, be sure to go see the folks at Crenshaws TV and Appliance for the finest selection, advice, and service after the sale. Open 24/7 at www.tvandappliance.com. Proud sponsor of the Pendleton Bulldogs. That's www.tvandappliance.com. Warriors have the football. 19.9 left to go in the third. They have the ball on their own 49. Burgess hands it off to Coltrane. Coltrane to the right side. He will get past the midfield marker. Gain of about 4.5 yards on the play. And that will take us into the fourth quarter of action. Your Bulldogs up 33-0 over the visiting West Oak Warriors. Bulldogs looking to get to 5-3 at game end, and the Warriors most likely will drop to 4-5. So we'll switch sides here, and in the meantime, we'll hear from some more of our sponsors. Looking for a place to connect and build community? Join us at Foothills Church in Pendleton. We meet every Sunday at 10 a.m. at Pendleton High School. Whether you're new to exploring your faith or looking for a new church home, you're welcome here. Come experience uplifting worship, a message with real-life application, and a community that cares. That's Foothills Church, Sundays at 10 a.m. at Pendleton High School. We can't wait to see you there.
West Cox Law Firm in Pendleton is proud to sponsor the Bulldogs. For help with real estate, wills, probate, or your small business, go see West Cox Law Firm in Pendleton. They're as tough and quick on your legal needs as the Bulldogs on a Friday night. Go to westcoxlaw.com after tonight's victory party to make your appointment.
Back with you for the fourth quarter of the action. David Poley, Sam Gaudreau on 105.1 WABB Spirit Radio. This is Pendleton Bulldog Football, sponsored by Longhorn Steakhouse. Thank you for sticking with us tonight after some earlier technical difficulties. It's a 2nd down and 7 for the Warriors to start off the fourth. And Burgess will give the carry to Anthony Blackwelder, his second big play of the game after he had a nice kickoff return earlier.
Anthony Blackwelder would definitely make our opponent all-name team from this season. That's an outstanding name for the young sophomore who also had the nice kick return just a few moments ago.
Another guy on the all-name team for sure is number 7 for the West Oak defense, the linebacker Gage Ballard, all-state wrestler as well. Haven't heard his name called that much tonight, but a very good player as a run from Blackwelder will get close to the line to gain. It will be just short of moving the chains. No, and now they will move the chains. It will be 1st down and 10 off the carry from Blackwelder. So Burgess, the starting quarterback, still in there. Harry Burgess still looking for his first passing touchdown of the season. Hopefully we'll get it on this drive as they have been moving efficiently now into Pendleton territory.
Might hear the Pride of Pendleton band in the background. They're looking to defend their state title at the marching band state competition tomorrow. So good luck to the marching band tomorrow as they look to capture back-to-back state titles.
Blackwelder with a carry to the left side. He picks up 7 yards on that play. Great blocks by the left side of the West Oak offensive line. Second down and 4 after they call it a gain of 6. They'll send a man in motion, and they'll give it off to Blackwelder. This time he goes nowhere and is dropped by a couple Bulldogs. In there I saw number 40, Nate Wells, the junior defensive lineman. Now a 3rd and 5. Excuse me, 3rd and 4. Bulldogs have 4 men down on the defensive front. Sometimes they'll walk up a linebacker, play 3, and now it looks like they have a firm 4 with some subs later into the game. We are under the 10-minute mark left to play. Big 3rd down here. Warriors give it off on the jet. Nope, they fake it. Burgess off the power read on the jet. Takes it all the way inside the 15-yard line. Burgess showing off his athleticism with that big 6'6" frame, showing he's got the wheels to match.
That's the 3rd time we've seen a run play off of that fake jet action. This time the motion coming from left to right, and it opens up a lot of space as one of the Pendleton linebackers. Looks like some reserves in the game now for the Bulldogs. One of the Pendleton linebackers went with the motion and opened up a lot of space for Harry Burgess, and he took advantage of it on that play inside the red zone for just the 2nd time tonight are the Warriors.
Could make an argument this has been the Warriors' 2nd best drive of the game so far. Could be the first, will be the first if they get into the end zone. Hand off to Blackwelder. Blackwelder gets a couple. He's been churning on the inside. He likes the left. Been able to get good chunk plays.
Blackwelder has shown a lot of promise in relief of James Coltrane, who received a bulk of the carries in the first half into the 3rd quarter. Coltrane, senior, set to graduate, but Blackwelder, just a sophomore, might have a bright future ahead for these Warriors.
2nd down and 4 now. Burgess back to the line, under 8:20 to play now. Bulldogs defense ready at him. They hand it off to Blackwelder again. Blackwelder looking to find a hole. Blackwelder will not be able to get anywhere. At the 2nd level, he was met by, I believe that's number 25 for Pendleton. That is number 15, Jordan Mattress. Mattress does a great job of stopping him there. It's 3rd down and 1 for the Warriors. Short down and distance for a first. Warriors have the ball on the 7-yard line, so plenty of room between the first down marker and the end zone. They just need 1 here. Burgess gives it to Blackwelder. Blackwelder stumbles, and I don't think he got there. I think the Bulldogs defense may have held them just short, but no doubt a 4th down, go-for-it situation for the Warriors offense.
I think Blackwelder slipping there is the only thing that prevented him from gaining the 1 yard he needed to move the chains, but absolutely no doubt go-for-it situation for West Oak. They're on the ball quickly here.
Pendleton looking for a huge stop. They'll try to draw the Bulldogs offside the Warriors, and they do, as defensive end number 33 for the Bulldogs. That's Jamarian Morrison, the linebacker. He crept up and he jumped on the left side of the defense. That will move the chains for the Warriors now in a very good position to score their first touchdown of the night.
It's unfortunate, but I don't hate it. That's a young kid, a sophomore in the game for the first time tonight. He's looking to make a play for his team on 4th down, man. You hate to see those guys jump off sides, but I love to see just the eagerness to make a play by Morrison there. Just a sophomore getting some varsity reps for maybe the first time this season.
2 H-backs in there now on 1st and goal. The handoff goes to Coltrane. Coltrane will not get into the end zone. Bunch of Bulldogs battling. Bunch of white jerseys there. A lot of contact. No touchdown. It is still 2nd and goal from the 3-yard line.
Bulldogs looking to make a goal line stand here to preserve the shutout. Several defensive starters trotted in after that offsides call to try to do just that. Trent Garner back in the game, Branson Wilson in, Zy Cullimore, a lot of the front-line main guys.
They now shift the two H-backs out to the left side. And single back, they give it to Coltrane. Coltrane will walk into the end zone untouched on the left side. And the Warriors, behind the back of their star running back, will break the shutout for the Bulldogs. Great job by Coltrane getting into the end zone on the left side.
That was a long drive for West Oak that started with 19 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Spanned all the way to 6 minutes and 9 seconds remaining in the game.
So that breaks the shutout for the Bulldog defense. Tried to get the stop there, brought in a couple of starters back in, but still very comfortable lead, 33-6. It seems that the two-point unit went out there for a second, but now a little bit of personnel confusion, and West Oak will call a timeout to talk things over, and we will hear from some more of our sponsors.
West Cox Law Firm in Pendleton is proud to sponsor the Bulldogs. For help with real estate, wills, probate, or your small business, go see West Cox Law Firm in Pendleton. They're as tough and quick on your legal needs as the Bulldogs on a Friday night. Go to westcoxlaw.com after tonight's victory party to make your appointment. Guy's Pizza in Sandy Springs is the official pizza of Pendleton High School football. Come see us on Highway 76 right across the street from the Michelin plant in Sandy Springs. We're the home of the famous award-winning Bird Dog Pizza, along with many other specialty pizzas. We also have wings, calzones, strombolis, hot subs, dessert pizza, and much more. To place an order, call 864-375-1410 or stop by and dine in with us. Guy's Pizza in Sandy Springs, proudly serving the area for over 10 years.
Back with you, David Poley and Sam Gaudreau, 105.1 WABB Spirit Radio, Pendleton Bulldogs football, sponsored by Longhorn Steakhouse. After a personnel confusion for the extra point, the kicking team finally back out there after Coltrane scored the first touchdown for the West Oak Warriors. And the kick from Vargas is through the upright, so the score moves to 33-7, with the Bulldogs still a comfortable lead at home, Cunningham Stadium on homecoming night. A great game for the Bulldogs, who will move to 5-3. A huge game coming up for them next week at BHP. BHP playing Crescent tonight. That score is 34-20 in favor of the Bears, who are leading on the road. Not an easy place to play is Crescent. With 6 minutes to go, the Bears up 14 over the Tigers, who just got one back to cut the lead after being down 3 scores. So that's a huge game. Wahala is down to Berea right now. They are up on Berea, 35-14. So they will look to get their first win of the season, as they will play West Oak next week. And so that is all of the scores for the 5 teams in the 3A region that our Bulldogs reside in. 6 minutes and 9 seconds left to go in this game. Bulldogs 2 deep back to receive. It'll be Sam Jennings. No, not Sam Jennings who fields it. It'll be, I believe that is number 16.
Savion Johnson, I believe.
Johnson. And Johnson will go all the way. Johnson, no flag. The second return touchdown of the night. In the absence of Jace Harrison Whitner, who got ejected early before we were even on the air, there has been 2 new returners, and those 2 new returners have both scored a kickoff return touchdown. Unbelievable. Savion Johnson goes 95-plus yards for the score. Follow up, Jordan Mattress. Anything you can do, I can do just a little better. So it's 39-7 with Brody Sprayberry on to try the point after.
Once Mellow Mattress and Savion Johnson get to practice next week, they might be petitioning Coach Howell for a competition for who's going to be the starting kickoff returners next week. I think they both made a nice case for themselves with their 2 return touchdowns tonight. First 2 of the year for the Bulldogs on kickoffs. Haven't really had much success returning kicks in general. I believe prior to that, their best kickoff return was just across midfield to the 46-yard line.
Harrison Winter did have one called back that was good for a score earlier this season, as Sprayberry's point after is good, scores 40-6 in favor of the Bulldogs. But the kickoff return, definitely kickoff return game and the success they've had there with Mattress and Johnson, definitely a huge thing that they can take into BHP next week. They will need to be sharp in all 3 phases of the game. In a game like that where you're going on the road to a very good opponent, the third phase special teams sometimes is where you can make up a lot of that underdog ability. A lot of big takeaways that the Bulldogs can bring to Belton Path. The success of Arnold on the deep shots, definitely one of them. A clean game so far, no turnovers. Defense forcing a couple. Experimenting with 4-man and 3-man fronts that both have had degrees of success. A big win against a respectable West Oak team for the Bulldogs, who will take it in next week as Sprayberry kicks it off. Returned by Jake Williams, number 18. Williams will get past the 30-yard line, and the Warriors, off their first touchdown drive of the game, will get it back with under 6 minutes to play. Sam, what do you make of the Bulldogs in the second half here? I feel like they've controlled the game very nicely and been able to take a lot of what they did in the first half into the second.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they've kind of vanillaed out in terms of their strategy, their game plan, not showing as much razzle-dazzle as they necessarily did in the first half. That's what comes with having a big lead. But continuing to pull away from the Warriors and add points to the board. This second half, we've seen 2 kickoff return touchdowns, as well as a nice fade ball touchdown to Zy Collimore. So Bulldogs continuing to trend in the right direction after a 1-3 start to the season. Going to add their 4th win in a row since that loss in overtime to Woodmont in overtime.
First down and 10. Blackwelder will get the carry to the left side. He'll be stopped without a gain. But moving into next week, you get Jackson Allman back for his second start of the season tonight after being out in that Keenan game. He's looked phenomenal. He's looked very good, granted, against a West Oak defense that has struggled. But how big is him taking that confidence into the biggest game of the season next week?
I think it's massive. We had Jackson Allman in limited action last week against Walhalla. Never really seemed to get comfortable. Dax Allen was actually the better quarterback in the game early on. I think this game has, like you said, been huge for Jackson's confidence. He's going to need to be a confident young man next week as the Bulldogs go on the road to a hostile environment to one of the powers in the 3A classification of South Carolina High School League football when they go on the road to face BHP and what will be probably the battle for the region title next week in Honeypath, South Carolina.
Brandon, there is a opportunity for Crescent if Pendleton beats BHP and Crescent then beats Pendleton. That is an opportunity where then it would go to common opponent and point differential and all the other tiebreakers. So a lot of crazy things could happen in 3A for the remainder of the season. Carry goes again by Blackwelder. It is now a 4th down and 5. The Warriors look to stay on the field, try to get something going into next week. People don't really think about this, but Allman, only a junior. He had some opportunities last year, showed his athleticism as a wide receiver, came in a little bit of former quarterback Jace Gross. Only a junior now. Will have an opportunity for a big senior season next year as Allman tries to draw, as Burgess tries to draw the Pendleton defense offsides. Will not do it this time after succeeding 2 prior times. And the Warriors will take a timeout, and so will we, to hear from one of our sponsors.
With more than 70 years of proven performance and the best bankers in the industry, United Community is one of the strongest and most secure banks in the Southeast. They are proud to have just won their 10th J.D. Power Award for best customer satisfaction in the Southeast, and they're recognized by J.D. Power as the #1 most trusted bank. They're headquartered in Greenville, South Carolina, making them the largest bank headquartered in the Palmetto State. Visit the local Pendleton, South Carolina branch for all your banking needs.
Back with you on 4th down. The West Oak Warriors have it. Under 4 minutes to play, the Bulldogs up 40-7. Quarterback Harry Burgess, number 12, will drop back to pass. He will check it down. Catch made by number 18, Jake Williams. Williams will get the first down. A great job by Jake. Excuse me, that was not number 18, Jake Williams. That was number 28, Braden Haney. Haney, the sophomore wide receiver, coming up with a big catch and will move the chains for the Warriors. They now have the ball at the 45-yard line.
West Oak looking to get out of here with some positive momentum and keep the score right at 40-7. Maybe even get in the end zone for a second time tonight on this drive.
Burgess will hand it off to Blackwelder. Blackwelder has some open space. Blackwelder jukes out a man. Blackwelder will get inside the 40. Great job by Anthony Blackwelder. This young sophomore really showing a lot of speed and burst ability. Blackwelder will be a very important part of the West Oak program going forward. Small in stature, but big in heart and speed. So Burgess now has his offense back down there, double set. Will give it off to Blackwelder, fake to give to Blackwelder, take it himself, shows his own athleticism, breaking tackles, has the first down on the read option. And Burgess, when he's got the ball and he's kept it himself, has been very impressive tonight.
Yeah, they need to do that more. I'd say 5 or 6 times tonight he has taken off with the ball in his hands and gotten 7, 8, 9 yards. That time about 12 yards on the carry. Definitely a very good athlete, and will have another season as the quarterback at West Oak High School, so likely going to continue to see him get better as he progresses in his career.
2 junior quarterbacks with great athleticism and size, as Burgess takes it again on a read option, like you mentioned, Sam, for a couple of yards. Have a lot of success doing that with him. But 2 junior quarterbacks, both young, in their first year starting, very athletic. And tonight it was Jackson Allman who had the last laugh over Harry Burgess. Burgess still looking for his first passing touchdown of the season after star Bell Cal running back, number 6, James Coltrane, had the only touchdown of the night. So with 2 minutes and 10 seconds, Burgess might get a chance to get that, but another handoff goes to Blackwelder. Blackwelder picks up the first down.
A lot of Bulldog reserve defenders in the game right now. Among them, number 21, Mikey Harrison, several others.
Blackwelder another carry after his first and goal from the 9. A flag comes in after a helmet came off of a West Oak player.
Gavin Yeoman's also in the game. Nate Wells. Trey Brown. A lot of reserves getting an opportunity, but crazy play in the end zone. One of the West Oak offensive linemen's helmet flies out the back of the end zone.
And 3 flags came in immediately, so interesting to see the ruling that is about to take place. Clock stopped as the officials deliberate at the 4-yard line. West Oak offense ready to go. Pendleton defense lining up with them. 1:48 left to go in the game. West Oak will have the football. Interesting to see what this penalty call will be. A long time, the officials talking it over. They'll now separate. Still, another official comes in from the far side, and he wants to talk about it. as the band playing, Pride of Pendleton Marching Band, have a lot for them to talk about, as it will be a face mask against the defense. So the Bulldogs will be backed up big time, and the Warriors will have the ball on the 1-yard line. So Burgess has Blackwelder there with him.
Is Burgess keeping himself here, Dave? Last-minute prediction?
I think they give it to Blackwelder. They will. Blackwelder will be short.
Should have kept it, man.
Should have kept it for sure. He had some open space to the left side. But Blackwelder was stuffed. I think they really want to give Blackwelder an opportunity to get one in the end zone. Would be his first touchdown of the year, as the Warriors were missing number 19, Carter Fountain, their usual backup running back, who's got 4 touchdowns on the season tonight. It's been Blackwelder in relief. Blackwelder gets it again, and this time nowhere to go.
It would be massive if the Bulldogs can keep the Warriors out of the end zone here. It would be a nice cherry on top to what has been a complete performance by both units for the Bulldogs tonight, as they will improve to 2-0 in the region and 5-3 overall. No Reigns on Exchange postgame show tonight. So we're hoping the Bulldogs can get this done in the next couple plays.
3rd down and goal from the 3. Heavy formation. Burgess will keep it himself. Burgess will get into the end zone.
Should have done it all along. He does it this time and is rewarded with a touchdown.
So Burgess gets into the end zone. Still, that first passing touchdown evading him, but he does get his second on the ground of the season. Burgess averaging 8 yards a carry this season, and no doubt why, as he gets into the end zone there. And Vargas will come on, number 20, Isaac Vargas, for the point after. So the Bulldogs, with 31.9 on the clock right now, will get the ball back and have a chance to kneel it out on homecoming night, as Vargas' kick is good, making the score 40-14, as that will most likely be your final, as there will be 32 seconds left to play. So a wonderful night of football here on homecoming night. Another shout-out to the Pendleton homecoming queen, Berndasia Alexander. A couple shout-outs to the wonderful seniors of the Pendleton Bulldog football team that we have been interviewing all season, like Dax Allen, Branson Wilson, Trent Garner, Mellow Mattress, Ray Spear, Ty Miller, Calhoun Mize, Jordan Mattress, Matthew Cooper, Grayson Wynn, Mikey Harrison, Deshaun Jenkins, Gavin Yeomans, Chris Payne, Gaines Buchanan, Mason Wilson, Ethan Rexroth, Corday Chapman, and everybody else who makes Pendleton Bulldog football possible. Will be a party in Pendleton tonight, as the ruckus crowd here has stayed pretty consistent the entire time, as they'll be looking to celebrate after the game. Return there.
Bradley Runyon, nice little return there on a short kick.
Great job by Bradley Runyon, the linebacker. He showed some flashes in points this season. Great job. Does a great job of pursuing the ball carrier, making good tackles. So the Bulldogs, with 26 seconds, will have an opportunity to kneel it out, and they will be facing BHP next week. Sam will be on the call. Sam, give us a little bit about that matchup. What do we think? Great performance from the Bulldogs tonight. BHP still up on Crescent, now 41-20 with 3 minutes to go in the third. They look comfortably like they're going to get out of that one and move to 8-0. So it'll be the 8-0 BHP Bears hosting our 5-3 Pendleton Bulldogs. What do you think about next week? What do the Bulldogs need to do to get it done?
They're going to have to have a lot of explosive plays, maybe some special teams plays like we saw tonight, a couple kickoff return touchdowns. They're undoubtedly going to have their work cut out for them, are the Bulldogs, next week on the road against the BHP Bears. Kind of one of those rivalries that's been one-sided in the past decade plus or so. Bulldogs definitely going to need to play their best football, which I'm not sure they have done yet this season. It'd be a good time to string together a complete performance. I'm going to be thrilled to join you with that performance, with that game next week that could go a long way in deciding the winner of Region 1 in 3A. But this one goes final 40-14 here tonight between the Bulldogs and the West Oak Warriors.
And that'll do it for us. David Poley and Sam Goodrow, thank you for joining us live on 105.1 WABB Spirit Radio. Once again, we apologize for any technical difficulties, but we appreciate you staying with us, and you will hear us on 105.1 WABB Spirit Radio next Friday night as the Bulldogs take on the Bears. So we thank you so much for everything. Enjoy